We'll talk about that and more. Of course, planets being seen in Dubai in just a minute. What is going on, guys? It is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Just so you know, tonight's show is going to be awesome. I always say that, but actually we do have an incredible show for you guys lined up. Again, my name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. This is a live call-in show normally, but it is Tuesday, so it is News Tuesdays. We're going to go over a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. On top of that, we have some videos for you. Of course, there was this object seen off of the West Coast, which they now say was a Trident missile. We'll talk about that here in a second. Of course, last time there was a Trident missile that caused a huge deal because people saw it off of the California coast. And then we are also going to be talking about the planets. People saw planets in Dubai. In fact, we'll explain that here in a minute. This is actually really crazy stuff here. And we have a Jacob Israel video to show you here quickly in just a minute here. But before we start, I just want to let you guys know that nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else on the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, also remember, if you're not getting notifications from the algorithm gods, you can also sign up for ours. In fact, we actually send you out a push notification directly to your phone through this system. Again, iOS is actually coming soon, and you can also sign up for our email alerts. If you have never signed up for these email things, again, our email thing is actually us sending you either valuable information, an article, or if we know something is going to happen for 100% sure, then we would tell you through that system. Again, we don't just blitz you with stuff. In fact, we've been about once a month or so that we send something out. So when people do get it, we know that they're going to look at it. And then Dex is my co-host. Dex is our tech guy. He is also my internet brother. Dex, are you there? And how are you doing tonight?
Hello, Adam. I'm here, and hello, Foogle fam. And yeah, I'm doing great. By the way, that sighting, I think it's getting a little confused. It was on Florida, not it was on the East Coast this time, not the West Coast.
Oh, so. No, you're completely right. You're completely right. And again, we'll cover that here in a second. The first time was off of California, and the second time, this was off of Florida. So I'll cover that here right now. Thank you for calling that out. Otherwise, people would be in the comments like crazy. So this is what we're talking about, and I'll play the short clip of this. What's even crazier, we're not even to the crazy stuff yet. People actually saw planets off of Dubai. There's a story behind it, and not everybody believes either way what it's about, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Of course, but this is what everybody was talking about on the East Coast off of Florida. So just to show you here. I'm going to mute that because I don't know if that's Britney Spears or something, but as you can see, it is fading out, and it's doing this swirl thing that it's done before. And last time it was at night off of the West Coast when it was off of California, people got this crazy light show. Well, this is in broad daylight. Of course, kind of a crazy shot. Look at that one skyscraper apartment building there. What a weird kind of skyline. I wonder how they got clearance for that. Anyways, then it kind of fades out a little bit, and you can obviously see it. By the time that the video ends, it's almost gone. People thought that was a UFO, and honestly, I wouldn't put anything past anything. So that is the video that everybody's talking about. I would love to go over to the chat. We will end up asking what you guys think about it. And I especially want to hear what you guys think about the Dubai situation. We'll get to that in just a minute. It says, meteor or missile, one Brada says. What's going on? Somebody said Fleetwood Marf, obviously. Project Bluebeam says Pump 66. And then Island by the Sea, crazy. What's up, Foogle fam? What is going on, you guys? Thank you for all being here. Grammy McKay, thank you for donating through Streamlabs, $3. Thank you so much. That is really appreciated. I don't even know how you did it. I don't know how people even do that, but Thank you for going around and finding how to do that. I don't think they actually take anything. That's the crazy part. Henry Dacus, thank you so much for being the last one out on the Super Chat last night. We do appreciate any support. It is not required, and it never will be. Thank you as well, everybody that was showing up on the later shows this week. We, of course, have had a rough time off camera, so thank you being patient. We are not a multi-million-dollar company like some of these news outlets. So, what do you think of this? Again, we'll leave this video and we'll make sure that everything is available on the website. In fact, if you want to follow along on a second device, you can do so at our website, marfugelnews.com. And we actually take the time before every single show to make sure that every video, every tweet, every source to every article is on our website. So if you go there, it's very easy to actually navigate. You look for the Dubai Planet sightings and then fake or practice and click on that. And you'll see, if you're new here, again, we take the time before every live show. You'll see all of the articles are there. So you can actually take a second tablet or a second phone, and you can read along. Don't know why it is taking so long to load, but when that does, I will show you that. Again, the deal with these Trident missiles is, why are they firing them and why are they practicing with them? Obviously, some say that we are getting ready for a conflict with other countries. So here again is all of this. Again, to remind you, we have extra additional content. The too hot for the tube kind of content is down at the very bottom. If you go to that, we have basically compiled everything we think you should know as far as all of the important stuff, and the stuff that we can't cover, we make sure to cover on our website. So you get all of that there. It is all for your liking. And then if you want to support us on the right side, you can do so. The Jacob Israel video, the video that we just watched here, is over there. And then, of course, a ton of kind of fiery stuff that we can't go over here on the show. With that out of the way, thank you again. Everybody over on DLive, thank you. To get into the next, and we'll be hitting this Dubai story in here in just a second. Here's what caused a light off of the sky off the coast. It says a mysterious light in the sky off of Florida's coast on Tuesday evening lured curious residents to social media to find out what caused it. It says the light was caused by a Trident missile. It says this was a test launch from a submarine, according to a meteorologist at the South Florida Sun Sentinel's news partner WPEC Channel 12. It said, no, that's not a UFO, Zach Covey tweeted. It was a Trident II SLBM missile test from a submarine off of the coast of Florida. So first off, if they put a test there, everybody just goes, oh, it's just a test. This was just a drill. It's okay. Everything's fine. I'm just gonna go back to doing what I was doing, which is paying attention and listening to everything that people tell me.
We need less sheep and more sheepdogs. We need less sheep and more sheepdogs. We need less sheep and more sheepdogs.
You get the point. First of all, we are in a very, very kind of tight situation with China, and now off of the East Coast as well. Of course, we have Russia and China. We are kind of on either side. We've got our foes, and now we are testing submarine-launched missiles. Of course, the skeptics will say, oh, they test stuff all the time. They drill stuff all the time. They have been doing this over the last 3 years, and it is down to the point where it is now, very public, but very not public, because nobody knew about this beforehand. I mean, Dex, did we have any proof that this was this talked about beforehand? Like, you would think that if you see a SLBM missile off of the coast, you would think they would allow people to know pre-hand, because I don't know, a lot of people actually know what those look like now, and if you see one, you might panic.
Yeah, you think you might have known, but I looked, I couldn't find anything, and if they did make an announcement, they sure didn't announce it very loudly.
So let me get this straight. It was visible to the entire city. Anyone looking towards the water saw this thing launch from a submarine, and of course, this was just a test, right? But yet they didn't tell anybody beforehand. Now, I don't know what the reason, if it's just like a harmless test, then why wouldn't they let everybody know and say, hey, on this day we're doing this? Especially, if it indeed was a test, then they would most likely let any of the enemies or any of the countries around the world know about it, because if they see something launch, they might retaliate. So the chances are, if it was a test, just going with it is a test, that means all these other countries knew, but the people sitting there watching an SLBM missile didn't. That seems crazy to me. Does that not sound kind of weird? I mean, I get that they have to do things confidentiality, but what would that hurt on a test? Most countries actually let you know they're doing a test, unless they're NK, unless they're Kim over there in Crazy Town. So this is kind of weird. It says Covey also included a screenshot of the missile's path. One commentator said that the light was visible as far north as Virginia. And another said they saw it from Magic Kingdom. So something just doesn't sit right with me. How are they seeing a missile from that far away? I don't understand that. Again, what is really freaky is that is what we would see in the event of something happening. Think about that. If you saw this, say, in the middle of the country, that would be pretty scary. Think about that. If you saw something like this. Now, it vaguely resembles a lot of the meteor videos that we've seen, and I don't really understand that, because we've just seen a lot of this kind of stuff happen. I'm gonna go over to the chat here, and I'm gonna put on screen here, because the Earth is not round. Russell Watkins, what is the point of having missiles if you don't play with them every once in a while? Good point, Russell. That is very true. Respiratory Jane, maybe they're just testing us to see how we react. That would be the Hawaii situation, in my opinion. Kelly2334, hi Bones. Priz Liz, what is going on? Says exactly. They're showing China cranks who's boss. They're showing them who's boss. But I think China already knows he's in office, I think.
It's funny. 5 days ago, I think China tested one too. It was different. It was an anti-missile system, but it was up in the sky as well and seen by many.
So what do you think about this, Dex? Do you think that they should let people know beforehand?
Certainly. I think we should know. If they're just testing, what's the harm in letting us know, hey, don't freak out if you see a giant missile that you would think could be the end of the world coming. Well, and
the other option is it could be a legitimate UFO, with all of the official government talk of UFOs and them declassifying stuff, and then of course lots of talk about UFOs. In fact, I'll play a clip of Jacob Israel's video here in a second. He did a great job. What if it was an accidental
launch?
Yeah, exactly. That could have been anything, and that was a submarine. What if they were reacting to something and then had to cancel it? Here's the thing.
What if it wasn't our sub? What if it was somebody else's and they launched?
Well, there's a million what ifs here, and the fact is there has been a ton of confidential close calls that we don't even know about. I have a strong feeling that, if you remember, there was a Russian research submarine so secretive that nobody knows about it. They say that even our intelligence offices don't really know much about it on the inside, as far as they know what shape it is, they know how they built it. I want to say it was called the Vladstock. It means like clown. It was named after not Vladstock. I'm sorry. You guys can correct me. In fact, chat, if you want to give me the correct name, this is a quiz time. If you know the name of the research submarine, no oogling here. If you know the name of that research submarine that is named after a Russian clown, put it in the chat. I can't remember the name, but again, when this thing caught fire, they towed it back to Russia. And it ended up, I think, 14 sailors or 17 sailors, something like that, perished in a fire inside this submarine. And that wasn't the whole crew. Not everybody died. But when they said at their funeral, what they said is the craziest part. This was just about 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago. They said at the funeral, the military commander that attended the funeral said that these men were brave, courageous heroes, and they died averting a planetary catastrophe. So what in the world happened that they were averting a planetary catastrophe underneath the ocean? And how did they catch fire? On top of that, there was sightings back then saying that that our submarines were in that same area. So what was there? Was there a close call? Did they actually exchange? And just like many movies that have taught, all these submarine conflict movies we've seen, did they actually knock out a sub or we knocked down a sub or whatever else? And then they used the red phone and said, hey, sorry, it was a mistake. But at the same time, they lost people. There have been so many different times where we have actually come close to actually going to conflict. We have come close to launching our nukes several times in the last 40 years, or supposedly that's what they say, and none of it is declassified. So this thing could have totally been something way, way bigger. That's why I say keep your head on a swivel, make sure to pay attention. That very well could have been an EMP, for gosh sakes. So again, we'll get into this. And then speaking of which, CEOs leaving their posts, the final kind of big one in my mind, Jeff Bezos, of course, recently announced that he was leaving his post. And now it says an unleashed Jeff Bezos will seek to shift space venture Blue Origin into hyperdrive. Why? By the way, there's also, again, we'll play Jacob's part of this. There is one of the largest asteroids all of a sudden is going to be passing by in just about a month in 2021. This year, one of the largest ones we've ever seen pass by Earth, or maybe closest. Again, we'll make sure to get that correct. And all of a sudden we know about it. It's like, how do we not hear about these things beforehand? Let me pop open, and I want to make sure that I can see you guys. Thank you all for being here. Let's see here. RE55, that's not necessary. Thank you so much. If you guys have not checked out RE55, you should. He is somebody I personally watch. Again, his videos are amazing because he has a Nikon camera that can zoom 1,000 times. He does a lot of cool moon videos. Ari, thank you so much. That is very generous, and thank you. You don't have to do that. You basically don't. You can just unidentified Friday and send in your videos to be seen. Born a Hawkeye, he'll never be as great as Elon Musk. Annette Ingram says, talk about hurting the environment in the water plants and water. So that's another thing. What does this affect when they do these kind of test launches? Mikhail Barham, submarine attacked by aliens too close to underwater alien habitat. Hey, there's a what if. There's a lot of what ifs around this. Oh my gosh. Russell Watkins says they left the stove on in the sub. Yeah, and Macaulay Culkin was back at the hotel. Let's see here. Build back better and circle back, says Vape King. Let's see here. Jesus King says Putin Patrol, LOL. Jenna McCoy, awesome. Hey, how are you doing? Cindy Griffin, thank you guys. LCJC family, we have a longtime mod in here along with Bones. Who else do we have? Rip Curl, what is going on? Hey guys, thank you guys for holding it down over on YouTube. So it says that freed from his daily obligations at Amazon.com Incorporated, Jeff Bezos is expected to turn up the heat on his space venture. Blue Origin, as it faces a pivotal year in fierce competition from Elon Musk's SpaceX industry, sources said, says that the 57-year-old Bezos, a lifelong space enthusiast and the world's second richest person behind Musk, said last week he is stepping down as chief executive of the e-commerce company as he looks to focus on personal projects. It says Blue Origin has fallen far behind SpaceX on orbital transportation and lost out to SpaceX on United Launch Alliance on billions of dollars worth of U.S. national security launch contracts, which began in in 2022. ULA is a joint venture of Boeing Company and Lockheed Martin, the scary, secretive companies. It says, now Blue Origin is battling to win a competition with SpaceX and Dynetics, sorry, not to confuse it with to develop a new lunar lander for NASA's potentially multi-billion-dollar push to return humans to the moon in a few years. Dynetics is owned by Leidos Holdings, Inc. I wonder what we would find if we looked up Leidos Holdings, Inc. It says, winning the lunar lander contract and executing its development are seen by Bezos and other executives as vital to Blue Origin establishing itself as a desired partner for NASA. It says, and also putting Blue on the road to turning a profit, the people said. Again, remember, they talked about all of this, or at least we covered what they said about it, was that in the beginning, they weren't making money doing the space stuff. They were putting their own capital in it, and then it ended up taking off. At least that was the case, I believe, with SpaceX. It says, with limited revenue streams, Bezos has been liquidating about $1 billion of Amazon stock annually to fund Blue, which he said in 2018 was, quote, the most important work that I'm doing. What does that tell you right there? Kara Fuse, because you deserve it and way more. My prediction for time show ends tonight. LOL, just picking so you don't have to go that long. Thank you for the 1111. Lots of love and hugs to the Fugle fam. Thank you, little red KS. I appreciate that. And Doc Bill, remote hacker, tries to poison the water supply. Yes, we covered that last night, Doc Bill. Make sure to watch the replay. Again, a lot less people are watching the replay. I think we're going to actually do something special for you replay watchers coming up soon. Little Stumpy Cromer, thank you so much. Hello, Marf and Dex and Fugle fam, thank you. So I didn't see anything in the chat, and I wanted to point out, and I seriously want you guys to think about this. Why are all these CEOs leaving their posts? Over 3,000. In fact, it's probably up to 4,500 now. I saw an updated kind of number. 45 of the most influential CEOs leaving their posts, and most had time left on their bill. Like these people were not. One, for instance, was a lifelong CEO, 46 years old, so still young, had 4 years left on his contract, left. That's something that we've been seeing all over the place. You had everywhere from Disney to AT&T, all of these different huge people. And then you line up those names. Those names also were featured on the Berg meeting group. And if you want to put that, the B-Berg group, those same people, all that go to that very secretive meeting, at a weird random place around the world every year, a lot of those guys retired. And not like left the company to go to another one, like left and just quit. A lot of these guys were in their late 30s and just said, I'm done. Now, mind you, a lot of these guys are rich enough to actually do that. And even the 20-year-old somethings are probably rich enough. I mean, if you got a couple $1 million, you can probably retire if you spend it right? But again, these guys were retiring with basically free money coming in. Some of these guys sit in positions on chairs and things like this that, I mean, really, almost any one of us could do if you worked up your way that high in the ladder, right? So why are they leaving? And then, of course, all of a sudden, in the last 5 years, Space Force popped up. We had all of these missions. We had OSIRIS-REx. We had Bennu. We had, of course, all of the Japanese missions, all of the other countries, all of a sudden trying to get to the moon. And they say it's because of these multi-billion dollars. But at the same time, they are also all working on some sort of asteroid preparedness. I can't say it enough. Look at what they're doing, and don't look at the hand that's saying, hey, this is what we're doing. Look at what is actually happening. Look at what they're spending their money on. They created Space Force and then SpaceLink, which they said was for internet, and everybody was like, okay, it's just for internet. But then announced, and I called it a year and a half ago, Dex and I knew that it had sensors for hypersonic objects. So anything faster than, in fact, now they're talking about 25,000, 30,000 miles per hour. So We can't even the hypersonic missiles are about 16,000, I think. Yeah. So 8 times the speed of sound, or Mach 8 or something like that. So you're talking about faster than that. What is faster than that? Asteroids. So part of Starlink, if you didn't know, Starlink, part of Starlink is sensors for objects, detecting objects, incredibly fast objects. If you look at what is actually going on just all the way back, it is very creepy. So, again, I know that there's a chunk of you that have completely different views, and that's totally okay. Sorry that you have to sit through this. But again, there will be fun stuff for you as well. It says that the UAE first mission to Mars arrives at the Red Planet on Tuesday, and it will attempt a tricky maneuver to place it in orbit. The Emirates Mars mission is known as the Hope Probe, and it is expected to arrive at Mars and send back a signal. Now, check this out. This is where it gets crazy. So, Dubai has been known for doing crazy things. In fact, crazy publicity stunts. In particular, the last one we covered was them actually shooting basically, they made it look like they shot a guy with a big slingshot off of a roof and then made it look like he landed. I think they actually shot somebody off of the roof, but what happened is the guy did like a parachute or something. Might have even been CGI. It looked so real that it went viral, but it was just some sort of publicity stunt. They've done all sorts of crazy stuff because these people have so many billions of dollars that they don't even know what to do with it. In fact, they've, of course, Dubai is supposed to have flying taxis. They're supposed to have robot servants, robot restaurants, all these kind of crazy things. Robot security guards are going to have these crazy robot security guards. They're basically saying that their city is going to be the future, including all sorts of different AI technology that they're going to place everywhere in Dubai. But this is really nuts because check this out. Let's see if I can find this here. This is what people saw. And no joke, if you don't know about this story, it is pretty crazy. So, in fact, it would be... Let me play a chunk of Jacob Israel. Have you guys ever seen Jacob Israel, by the way? I know that a lot of you are my hardcore people, but again, if you guys have not seen Jacob Israel... he is an amazing guy. He is the same person on and off camera. Make sure to check him out when you get a chance. Did a great video regarding this.
Hello, my friends. Jacob Israel is here once again, and from the virtual set of space. Oh, I figured it out. I got back. I'm very excited to be here because now I'll be able to, send you a couple of new shows, a couple of more shows here and there, especially dealing with all the weirdness that's going on in space. But not just in space, like everywhere today. There's sightings everywhere, right? Everybody's talking about Planet X, Nibiru, lots of crazy asteroids, things coming close, everybody's doom and gloom, but I'm like, hey, this is the best. About like 3 in the morning, I wake up, I'm just tired, and I see this post on Twitter. And somebody's like, what's this over Dubai?
You see? It's like, and there are 2.
Looks like 2 planets over Dubai. Now, do I think they're planets? I don't know.
All right, now, after Jacob did this video, and Jacob, again, covers all sorts of really cool stuff, make sure to go check him out right now. If you haven't love mobbed him, Jacob Israel is probably one of the best family mans, just in general, one of the most honest, lovely person you've ever met. He truly cares about people. He is, again, you know, some people, I do actually reach out to people other than, you know, YouTube. He is just like that. He reaches out. He makes sure you're okay. He does well wishes to my family. He always cares. He cares about my daughters. He cares about us. So I really care about him, and I hope you guys return the favor. But this moon scenario here that he was doing, very crazy stuff, because after he made this video, and by the way, the rest of his video talks about UFOs and all of this is coming out right now. All of this weird stuff is being disclosed, and why? You know, why right now? Well, I'll tell you, I think that something is going to be a little switcheroony. You know, something's coming, and they're going to tell us it's this, and then it's going to be that. So, again, check out Jacob Israel if you can. He's a really, really, really great guy. But on top of that, there's an explanation for this. So, apparently, they said it was a stunt, right? But this is really freaky to me. And I got chills when I first saw it because I didn't know about this yet. Because all of these people have been sending in videos to our unidentified shows. As far as you can actually send videos to marfugelnews.com/playmyvideo. And a bunch of people have been sending in these videos and things where there's objects out there. And it makes me wonder, is there really objects that are, you know, people are seeing? Not just like little stars or even UFOs that are stars or that. We're talking about shadows of big things, or like the moon video that person sent in with the cigar-shaped thing clearly by the moon. Some of the videos are really good, and it's like, you know, of course it could be CGI. It could be something else. This one had multiple camera angles, and everybody from this freeway here, whatever, everybody saw it. Apparently, people pulled over to do it. So, like, this disrupted stuff. You know, this isn't something you would really see here. They say that it was all a stunt, and how they did it was with a projector. Now, if you know anything about Bluebeam, which, again, somebody can put that project in the chat there, then you would probably know why people would be concerned about projecting any kind of large image that convinces a large amount of people of something happening. Now, those two moons are supposedly the satellites of Mars that they will experience because the UAE is going to be at Mars soon. So they did this as a stunt. Now, let me read and explain. It says, two moons over Dubai that sparked apocalyptic predictions solved as a UAE Mars probe stunt. Now, this is what people were seeing, and it was huge. So again, there was pictures, and you'll kind of understand what we mean by this. It says it also seemed too high to be a projection, but the technology was significantly advanced and better photos arrived. It says the two moons were hoisted up by 200-meter cranes, so 300 feet in the air, and projected on a 40-meter screen using a new technology that has never been seen before in the UAE. It says, in the dead of night, when most viral clips were filmed, the cranes were virtually invisible, leading to the confusion. It says, alert massive moons or planetoid-like objects filmed in the Dubai sky from many angles, locations. Two objects may be the planet or Nib system. It says some claim UFOs, some claim holograms. It says one thing is for sure, the objects did appear in the night sky. So at first, people were saying it was a hoax, saying this is CGI, this is a carefully planned joke, because there were so many videos of it and so many different people saw it. But then what happened is they said that this is what happened, and they showed the real pictures. So only Dubai would, if this is really what happened. Again, by the way, if something was, here's a question for you. Now, we have the official story. They hoisted up this screen, and this is what it looks like, right? They have a kind of a see-through screen. I don't know what technology they're actually using, or if these things are projecting sideways, if this is 8D or 7D or whatever they call it technology. But it does look real from just, looking at it. Of course, we can't see the pixels because it's far away, right? But either way, if this did happen, and this is just my question to you, if we really did see something like this, and there was, just so many people that saw it that they couldn't deny that it actually happened, What do you think they would do? Do you think that they would actually, do you think they don't have millions or even billions of dollars to cover up something if they declared that, like, hey, people can't know about this yet? Or if this was the largest asteroid that we're about to see or something, right? Do you think that they would be capable of covering up something like that? And how would they do it? They would say, oh, well, this was actually a projection. Now, it looks like this was just genuinely a prank with this new projection. What's even more worrying is if they can do this, and I don't know how they didn't see those towers, by the way. That's something that can kind of confuse. And they had red lights on them for planes. Nobody saw that? It's kind of odd to me. Either way, even if it's projector, that means, think about a false alien. Get what I'm going here? Say 10,000 people are at a football game, and then all of a sudden a spacecraft comes in and lands or projects a message and says, we're coming to get you. And then the whole world unites under this, they know that something's coming. Oumuamua was our scout. Freaky stuff. And I'm telling you, this is really, really weird stuff to me. The thing is people aren't going to think it's a big deal. But later on, if they use this technology for something else, that's where it gets really nuts. Bones, hey, thank you for the super sticker. Nice flying Superman there. I appreciate that. You guys see what I mean? It really is truly something that I think is... I think this is like nuts. This is insane.
The part that gets me, Adam, that you talked about earlier, you can't see the screen, right? We don't know what technology is being used for the screen, but something is being used for the projection. And I can only imagine that screen is so translucent. I am sure there's probably other technologies they're working on where they can make that screen not be a physical thing between two cranes and it's just something in the sky, right? And that's like the next step to get to what you just described, where you could project a 3D image or have a 3D image come into the sky and it look real as if it was really there, right? And be in full motion and moving.
I still don't see the actual screen in the daytime shot. They show this daytime shot of these large cranes. Maybe they painted them black. I don't know. I still don't understand. I understand that it was cell phone videos, right? But there were people that genuinely believed this and said that they didn't see any of that. Maybe it was the distance that they saw it from.
Well, and if they're seeing it from light and it's dark, then they're not going to see the contrast of those cranes. Whereas if you're up by the crane, like that picture earlier, you're in the darkness of the crane, so you'll be able to see it, right?
Yeah, no, very good point. And the other thing is that kind of backs up that this is what they say it is that people have looked at it, and it is the two supposed moon type things off of Mars. So what's even crazier is they've talked about in the future doing these things where they actually have these, so like Project Bluebeam, where they could project things in the sky. They could do announcements. Imagine this, and this is like out of a sci-fi film. Imagine where you have the president or something like that doing an announcement, and it's the entire sky, and it's a planetary address. This sounds like fiction. But this is being talked about. And professors say it's not only possible, but it will happen in the future. Maybe it's not an address like that, but it will be something. If there was any kind of planetary alert or a message they want to get to the whole planet, they could do it with satellites, and they could do it with Project Bluebeam. Is that not nuts? Think about that. A planetary address. It actually blows my mind. Like we are going to see the craziest stuff in the next 20 years if we make it. Everything's going to change. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. And it's scary. Think about what bad people could do with this. Think about if they didn't have the right intentions for this. Think about the PROPA. You know what I'm saying. Ganda. Think about that. Hold on, let me pull up this. I want to make sure that I can see you guys over on YouTube and D-Live. Recalcitrant says, good night, everyone. Peace and much love. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Recalcitrant, for stopping by. Deja Voodoo 222. Thank you so much for your support over there on D-Live as well. And N95 Hero. It looks like you are number 1 so far. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for the Ninja Genie. And then Stormy7572. Thank you and welcome back. Thank you guys for making every show. Stormy Weather. Time is short to y'all and ML. That is awesome. Thank you. Voss Shadow and I'm getting old. Lisa K23. Or my screen is too small. Thank you. End Times, what's going on? Hey, it is super nice to see you tonight. Lucky Ticky 2. Hey, it's nice to have you back. Again, I've missed you. Griff Daddy, Matthew 633, Red Storm, Vault 111. I hope you had a good host last night. It was awesome to see you playing some hip hop and all that. That was great. Melby 22, thank you so much for your massive support tonight. I really do appreciate all of you guys. Johnny Fi, Sunny Beach Girl, everybody that's in there. Jumpmaster, I appreciate you guys. Seriously. Let's see here. I'm going to load this up so I can see it everywhere. And then I'm going to go into some of the other stories here. Kimberly Clemens, Propa, you know what I'm saying, Ganda. That's right. Propa, you know what I'm saying, Ganda. Okay. Looks like we have to stop the show.
And you saw that was a jet, right?
Stormy weather, stormy weather, stormy weather, stormy weather, Thank you. Stormy weather. Seriously. That is the highest compliment you can pay somebody on D-Live. We appreciate your support. Thank you for supporting Independent. You are also, I believe, I don't know if you are already on the list, but you are part of a small group of people that have actually gone that far to support us. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. We are trying to do a whole lot to get our own thing going. So really thank you guys for everybody that has supported beyond sharing and liking. But I do want to make a point. Our show will always be free, and we always encourage you to share, like, and bring somebody and bring a family member if you can. We're going to have a system so everybody can talk outside the show. Again, we had to build that because all of the free sites took them away. So remember that when we do have it, remember the work that went into it. Again, Dex has done an incredible job building. So again, we're going to soon need testers for that. All right, let's see here. Turkey unveils space program, including 2023 moon mission. It says Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan unveiled an ambitious 10-year space program for his country Tuesday that includes missions to the moon. Dex, come on now. Turkey's going to the moon?
Yeah, everybody's going to the moon.
Do people, I mean, are people still behind on this? Like, something is happening. Something is going on. It's not just for the millions of dollars. Because if the entire planet collapses money-wise, then what good is a bunch of steel, right? Again, Turkey is now going to the moon. On top of the huge list we've shown you, everybody is all of a sudden going to the moon. And it seems like it all goes back to kind of a single kind of, discovery. All of a sudden, all these countries met, and then they were like, oh, yeah, we got to get to the moon. Why? If we've known about all this stuff, if we supposedly went back in the 60s or whatever, went back to the moon decades and decades ago, and we haven't been back there since, we've known what is out on the moon for this entire time. If they knew that there was money there, they would have gone 30, 40 years ago. That's what I don't get. If they knew that there was millions of dollars, or do you think that all of a sudden they found a diamond-encrusted asteroid, which we've covered, right? And then they're like, oh, we can go get them diamonds. All of the elites, including people that are at that Bieber group, are also members of this new nation in space called Asgardia, named after Thor's homeworld. But it's not a joke. It's real. Like on the lower end, if a civilian like you or me looks up Asgardia, like we can go to a cute little website and order a little certificate saying, I'm a citizen of Asgardia. Yeah, and, we can all nerd out and be like, I own a star, and that star's got my name on it, and I'm a citizen of Asgardia. When in real life, they are actually doing the legal contracts and everything else on the top end for these elites to actually be citizens in space. One thing I also want to point out, there are some of the connected YouTubers that I've seen, some of the ones that are, 8 million subscribers, 10 million, 12 million. One of them is the MBLK, whatever, the cell phone kind of electronics kid. Do you know who I'm talking about? MKBH something, Dex. He interviewed Elon Musk not too long ago. Oh my gosh. Marcus. His name is Marcus, I believe. Him. There's another Mark Roper. Basically just said
Marquise Brownies?
Yes, Marquise Brownlees. He has made comments. Mark Roper, who does these experiments, who has a giant channel and does these just extravagant, crazy experiments. You might have known him. In fact, people probably wouldn't know him unless they heard things like he did the glitter bomb package. If you remember, he did this fancy box that basically when somebody steals it off the porch, it would spin around and shoot glitter and do fart juice and all sorts of crazy stuff to get whoever stole the package. And it had cameras, so they videotaped all the reactions. So many millions of people have seen that you've probably seen Mark Roper. But he has made comments several times on and off camera. He says, you, like me, in our lifetime will go and see space and blah, blah, blah. He also said he's already lined up to go. So these are the connected YouTubers. Those are the ones that are sponsored and pushed up by the platforms. And they are, basically rubbing elbows with people like Elon Musk and Bezos. And guess who they have actually interviewed as well? Mr. Gilly Bates. So they're a part of it. YouTube is a huge part of the you know what I'm saying, Ganda. So what the heck is going on here? Why is everybody going to the moon? Is anybody figuring that out yet? I'm telling you, it's all the writing is on the wall, but nobody is. You guys are seeing it. I know you are. Jumpmaster Georgia Key Shara, thank you so much. Love saying your name. Key Shara. We've got Out Rugal. Out Dr. Gal. I'm totally saying that wrong. I know it. Lurker1, thank you so much. I love Dachshunds. And while I'm at it, I love Beagles. Thank you for being here. Cindy Pillow, thank you for your support tonight. Thank you for all you do. Love the Fugel family. And most importantly, Adam and Dex. Thank you. Make sure to thank the mods as well. We've got really good ones in here tonight. Z2M Zippy Moons, thank you so much. I actually shouted you out, I think, when you weren't here. Thank you, Dex and mods and Marf. Update on iOS. I need a nerd to walk me through to get your jams as text tones. I think you can just do that by downloading, grabbing the YouTube video. Nuclear War says... It went by so quick. Says nothing. You just supported. Thank you. Tower Bear. Tower Bear, Tower Bear. Tower Bear, Tower Bear. Tower Bear, Tower Bear. Tower Bear just did a ninja as well. Again, we don't usually get those, and now we've gotten two. Says, I want to go to space for about 30 minutes and then come right back. If you have an EMP, you also need some kind of fluid transfer pump. So Tower Bear, on top of supporting, you actually tried to help other people with your comment. That is the kind of people in the audience. Thank you. Thank you again for supporting us. Thank you for supporting Independent. We don't have a multi-channel network. We don't have somebody that's going to protect us from stuff. So it really does help. Thank you. And then Bear Claws, Deb Pool, all of you guys, thank you so much. Getting back into it again, speaking of EMP Shield, since you brought that up, make sure to check out EMP Shield. If you don't know about this company or you're new, you should be looking at this. Again, our grid is so freaking vulnerable that they have signed executive orders. Now they have several laws trying to be passed as well to make sure that this goes through, or so many orders. The current president just undid some. So make sure you go look at this. EMP Shield can protect against all three phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3. What it does is it grounds the signal before it can fry your device. Now, device, again, they actually make several different things for your car. That is the most popular one because you can wire it in yourself. It takes 5 minutes. Again, it actually grounds it out to your frame. That one, if you're stuck somewhere and an EMP or coronal mass ejection happens, you can actually get home. Again, they make one for a generator, a ham radio even. They make one for your home. That is also one of the most popular. It's 100% American made and it's veteran owned. And they're contracted with DHS, DOT, and now officially a part of the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. Again, we have a contest. We've begged them every single time that they do anything. Say, please do another contest because not everybody can afford them. So we've tried to do, I think we're on our 5th or 6th contest where the winners can actually pick what device they need. So again, there's multiple ways to enter. One of them is going over to Andrew's new channel. You'll see that when you go over to marfugelnews.com/contest. You can actually put in a super amount of entries every single day. Make sure to go over and do that. I guarantee you this isn't a giant thing. This is only between Andrew's channel and ours. So there's really not that many people entering. That's, again, go over there and check it out. 2 U.S. Navy aircraft carriers just teamed up in the South China Sea. Writings on the wall. The 2 nuclear-powered supercarriers undertook joint exercises as tensions between China and the United States in the region remain high. It says the U.S. Navy's nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Nimitz, which had its deployment extended last month, everything matters, there's no coincidences in my opinion, returning to the Middle East in light of continued tensions with Iran. It says is now in the South China Sea where it sailed alongside its sister ship, the USS Theodore Roosevelt today. Which, if you remember, just about a week and a half ago, they intercepted a message where China was doing a simulated attack on the Theodore Roosevelt. It says the 2 carriers and their respective strike groups, because a carrier never goes alone. In fact, a carrier goes, and then they've got destroyers, they've got all these other defensive ships, because the carrier is vulnerable. So you've got this huge group of ships meeting up with another huge group of ships out there. Again, when you have a carrier in these ships, it is quite a force to be reckoned with, especially if it's a U.S. high-tech, kept up with ship like the Roosevelt or, again, like the Nimitz. Both Nimitz and Roosevelt have gotten themselves into some pretty crazy stuff there. And it says they have been there in the hotly disputed region in recent weeks. It says the Navy said that the 2 carriers worked together in, quote, a highly trafficked area to demonstrate the U.S. Navy's ability to operate in challenging environments, and conducted exercises. Remember, they're just drills, they're just tests, aimed at increasing interoperability, as well as command and control capabilities. Theodore Roosevelt is part of a carrier strike group, CSG-9, which also includes part Carrier Air Wing 11, the Ticonderoga class cruiser USS Bunker Hill, and the Arleigh Burke class destroyers USS Russell and USS John Finn. These are, again, we've actually done stories on those 2 as well. Just those ships are a force to be reckoned with, let alone this whole armada of ships. Nimitz CSG 11 consists of the CVW-17 as well as the Ticonderoga-class USS Princeton and the Arleigh Burke Black... sorry to... I really am sorry, though, because I just Cardi B'd you, and that's offensive. Arleigh Burke class USS Sterett. So look at these things. Along with the jets and everything that goes along with these things, this could start a conflict all on its own. I mean, these things are just nasty. Thank you, men and women that are out there on the ships, by the way. Just want to remind you to thank a vet today, any day. If it's you, thank you.
Can I contrast something for a second here, Adam? I was reading an article the other day about a Russian aircraft carrier, because they only have one. And the article was talking about how it was so loaded down with all of this other stuff that it almost didn't have enough room for its own ability to fly, aircraft off of it, because it had to have anti-sub, had to have air-to-air, it had big cannons on it, it had siloed missiles in it. It was basically like the Swiss Army knife of aircraft carriers. But when you look at something like what we have, you've got like these dedicated ships that do all of the individual things for everything. And it's like so much better. And it's like they had to just let's just dump it all onto our one carrier, because that's all we can do. And hopefully that one carrier can take care of itself, because it doesn't have a carrier group running around doing all of those individual things.
So, sorry about that. Mike got a little bit too loud. So here's how, and again, we're going to see this in the next year. You're going to see this come out. They know through the China Task Force and others, and I've talked to military that are over there, and they've been briefed on what China is planning for these guys. So these things are amazing. They've got high-tech everything. You're talking about something's coming towards them. They've got systems where it can track it and shoot it down while it's coming towards them. And these the trackers and the lasers that they're using, which, by the way, I don't know if it's one of these, but the world's first directed energy laser weapon is on one of these, I believe. If not, they're now on one of the carriers. And it's the only publicly talked about laser. This thing is just absolute crazy. My point being is they're putting more and more stuff like that with the tracking abilities, because they know that they're going to be dealing with drones. Now China has outnumbered our Navy by 100 ships. So we've got this amazing, amazing Navy, and we've always had, the top of the line, where we've always been the largest and the best Navy. But what they are actually worried about, and what they are saying that China will do, is have thousands upon thousands of these kind of kamikaze drones, and even if they knock 999 of them down, will even a group like this with these tracking lasers and everything else, would they be able to knock down all of them? They have now miniaturized certain explosives, and they've talked about this over the last year, so I can see it all being put together. Miniaturizing extremely strong stuff, putting it on 1,000 drones, and now the drones can fly super far. As far as they track it down, they shoot boom, 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 try to get as many as possible. Are they going to get every one of them? That's the question that's asked. But now the Navy and military and even regular ground forces are now worried about these things, because they are actively doing every part of research and development on these drones. So these drones are going to be our future. This is the next conflict is going to be bonkers. And another thing is, I believe that they are going to try to go after one another before one gets way too overpowered, whether that be the U.S. or them. Just look at it this way. If you knew in 5 years China was not only going to be at par with us or beyond us, like in every fashion, with our own technology, with hacked information that basically gives them every advantage that we had, they have that information, and they have the building capabilities to make 10 of them fast. Would you take it out before they got there? Would you do something to make sure that it doesn't get past us? Seems kind of common sense in the game of in the game of number one. What have we done to other countries to stay number one in the world? Even big countries. Oh, and by the way, a small group of men, maybe even one man, can go in there and grab a leader of a country and change everything in it. Not to mention a couple guys take out the leader of a country, and then, oh, well, you're saying, well, there's a whole government set up. Oh, well, money, bribes. Hey, you going to switch sides and turn the other way when we walk in that door? Sure. Spate of Black Hawk crew deaths prompt questions for the Pentagon. It says the loss of 2 UH-60 Black Hawk crews in less than 2 weeks signals the need for a comprehensive look at the helicopter's mechanical software and electrical systems CV-19 systems to see if the cases, quote, fit a larger pattern of malfunction, according to a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. 9 National Guard troops have been taken out or perished in Black Hawk crashes in roughly 1 year, raising significant concerns about a systemic issue with the Black Hawk helicopter operation cycle. Dex, one thing I wonder is, we've been using Black Hawks forever. Why would this happen now?
Well, yeah, and the other thing that got me thinking about, well, first off, I didn't realize there was one that happened around the 20th of last month. There was one that happened a few days after that, and then you also hear lots of conspiracies around these different downings over the years. They're always used to say, or they're always spun up to say, is that a cover story for something else, right? So I just thought it was interesting, though, that this is coming out, and they're looking at it at this, to try to spin it into a problem. So yeah.
And I remember that last one was very questionable because of the people that were on it.
Yeah, and there was the one in back in November too that coincided with the conspiracy about something else on the other side of the I think over in Europe.
That's right. Wasn't it power related?
No, it was related to that topic we're not going to talk about.
Oh, that's right.
I think that one went down north of Africa, if I remember correctly, or maybe Egypt somewhere.
There was a bunch in 2020. This was it, right? And the peacekeepers were on it. 5 U.S. soldiers among 7 peacekeepers taken out in a Sinai helicopter crash, and it had a very significant weight to it. It says, yeah, this is what I'm talking about, and things like this happened all the time, and the official narrative, which is this is straight up the movie. I mean, this is the movies here. This is Bond stuff. This is stuff that happens every single day. One thing that I wish we could find out, even if we didn't find out the truth behind everything, if the government said, oh, this percentage, like 35% of every story that comes out of the Pentagon, it is covered up or whatever, right? Even if we knew the percentage, then people would start going, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. This much that they put out, the stories that they put out, are edited, altered in some way. I don't know what the percentage is, but again, I bet it's way higher than we would think. I don't know about 35%, but what do you guys think?
Not malfunction, but you did say movies. There was a Black Hawk Down movie. It was,
I know.
RPG, I believe, right?
And I was trying
to remember the storyline. Yeah.
When I was trying to search in there, I was trying to figure out what I could type to not get that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of getting movie posters for trying to show people important information. And then it says SpaceX is now offering $100 pre-orders of Starlink to more users around the world, including in Mexico, Australia, and U.S. states where the service isn't yet live. That's pretty trippy. So he's selling a product that doesn't even exist yet. That's pretty smart, right? Oh my gosh.
I think there's a lot of people that are going to want this. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that are either off grid or in areas where they are not serviced by fiber or high speed, and they have to use the older, crummy satellite internet, which is really slow, or even worse, use dial-up. Right? They couldn't even watch a video. So
yeah, I remember the good old days.
I'm sure there's some rich people on yachts that are going to want this too.
Oh, true. I didn't think about that. If you were out on a boat or if you were out in the middle of nowhere, there's going to be a grid around our planet. I mean, that's just nuts to me. Tuck Pup says 9 months sober next week. Much love, y'all. Hey, Tuck Pup, seriously, congratulations. Again, I have half of my family has alcoholism in their blood, and I totally understand that is a huge deal. Seriously, Tuck Pup, congratulations, and I hope you never go back. Once you get far away from it enough, it gets much easier. Let's see here. Eve 50, and by the way, none of us are perfect. It's okay, it's okay to also make mistakes and let people know about them. Eve 57, thank you so much for following. Jen Lay Awake, thank you so much. Again, it's nice to see you. I hope your husband is doing well tonight as well. And Baldylocks, there he is. Baldylocks Awake, thank you for showing up as well. Thank you guys for watching as a couple. You guys are awesome. Keith and Queen Brat, I don't know if you guys are here tonight, but hey, I hope Queen is recovering well from her arm injury. And Biblical Smackdown, way to keep one day at a time, buddy. Got a lot of people behind you. That is right. Pearl, would changing the word Rand to Nari, just a thought. Yeah, but if we said Nari, I guess we could. And then I wish we could have something on the side of the video like a key. Actually, that might be an idea. Tuck Pup, again, thank you. Oh, and then looks like Tuck Pup, thank you for subscribing monthly as well. Love the Fugle fam. Thank you, Voss Shadow, Dixie Doe, New Clear War. Thank you for the lemon. Chaos 4132. Thank you as well. You guys are seriously awesome. I appreciate it. All right, now let's go over here and this service, which again is going to be basically everywhere. They're saying that Starlink's Better Than Nothing beta launched in October and operates in parts of the northern U.S., southern Canada, and most recently in the UK. So I like how they said Better Than Nothing beta. So basically in places where there's no internet, you might be able to get a little bit right at this point, which is kind of a huge deal. But I don't think that this is the only thing that SpaceX is about. Again, SpaceX is doing some pretty crazy stuff, and I'm sure that they are in some closed-door meetings that would just totally freak us out. Okay,
yeah, this is what pays the bills, right? This will fund whatever else is going on that we don't know about, right?
The black projects and all the underground stuff.
All the other stuff. This is the cash flow to make the business look like a business. It needs to do the internet side. That's one half of the satellite. Then there's something on the other half that we just don't know about. That's what we've been saying all along. But this does lead to, we're in this new world now where everybody's working from home, right? So imagine now you could literally move to your bug out location and actually work from there from here on out if you so choose. But you would be able to have internet.
It is a trip. Speaking of working from home, if you have no VPN on your computer, then you are not doing it right. Again, almost every professional, anybody who is at home or doing any kind of thing on their computer a lot, should have a virtual private network. It basically hides your IP address, which can be used to find your real address, but not only on top of that, can be used to data log you and do all sorts of creepy things, including governments making profiles on you. Again, you can protect that all by doing a virtual private network. Nord is one of the best. It is, again, something we're lucky to have here. Again, protect your data while you're actually using Wi-Fi. If you're using it at Starbucks or something like that, Any device that you use this with will be protected. Again, this works for phones. You can put this on your home computer, your kid's phone, your husband, your wife's. Again, this is something that's 6 devices all for one price. So remember that when you actually go sign up. And it's extremely easy. You don't have to be a Dex. You don't have to be a tech guy or tech woman. You can actually just press on and off. It's that easy. It's like a light switch. There's an easy mode. And it has an ad blocker built in. So again, just make sure to go check it out. Not get any of those annoying ads. All right, let's see here. Again, that's marfugelnews.com/VPN if you want to support the show and get a huge discount, up to 70% off on a 3-year plan. And then we have Raising the Stakes. First 3D printed ribeye is unveiled. This is what Gilly Bates and all of these people are all about. They're about depopulation and making this fake meat. It says Aleph Farms' new 3D bioprinting technology, which uses living animal cells as opposed to plant-based alternatives, allows for premium whole muscle cuts to come to market, broadening the scope of alternative meat in what is expected to be a rich area of expansion for food companies. Now this, I think, no matter what, whether we like it or not, it's just going to blow up. They are going to have these things, if they even allow the regular citizen to get on the stock market. Personally, I've been looking at this going, that's probably, unfortunately, the future. Do you agree with this? I don't know if there's any kind of moral thing other than the fact that I believe that it's taking away from regular farms. This is the way. I just wonder, is there a way to take almost every regular job in the middle and lower class and take that away, give it to a robot or give it to a lab or give it to somebody else, and make sure that you have everybody on the same level? Remember, I want to say it's the World Economic Forum that said that in the future you will be broke and you'll be happy. You'll have nothing, but you'll be happy. They have certain things where they're not even saying predictions. They're saying the world will be like this. They said that you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Are they going to give us magic pills to where we're all happy, healthy, and just do our thing? Like, imagine this. What if you could change it? So if you were doing a grunt job or grunt labor, but you were so happy and felt happy all day, would that change everything? Think about it. If they were able to somehow cure depression or permanently just make you up on this kind of happy high, as long as you did whatever they needed you to do, would you be okay with that? But speaking of this, so Dex, what do you think of this fake meat stuff?
And I love a good ribeye. And on one hand, I'm thinking if they got this right, it would be awesome. But on the other hand, I'm thinking it kind of creeps me out too, because I'd rather just have a real ribeye, I think, in my mind. But, on the flip side, if everybody in the world wanted to eat a ribeye tonight, we probably couldn't make that happen. So I understand the plight. I understand, the challenge. But yeah, it's making me hungry, though. They
did a survey of more than 1,000 U.S. adults conducted by MRS research company for agricultural company Pro Agrica, and it showed that almost 40% of American consumers have considered going vegetarian. What 40% is this? Hold on. I've got to do more research. Let's see.
Well, if you go vegetarian some of the time and then go back, does that count in the 40%? Because that would be me.
Let me see if we have images of these 40%ers. Odd-looking bunch. He's still doing it. You can actually hear the clock ticking. And now that I've officially burned the 2 minutes I needed to, that's incredible. Let's see here. So if you want to watch the Jacob Israel video that we showed here earlier, and if you want to see any of the articles here today, you can go over to marfugelnews.com. Now, Dex, you actually you did the website tonight, and it looks like there's some pretty good stuff over there. Again, we've put in a lot of the kind of too hot for the tube over there. Is there anything else that you want people to know about tonight's web only?
There's definitely a lot of good stuff there. There's an interesting one. There's a video. I'll just go ahead and talk about this. There's a video of someone who crashed a car off of a high-rise bridge, like dropped like something like 70 feet onto the highway below. They survived, but the video of that is just sort of like, wow, somebody actually went through that and survived. And there's a bunch of other stuff we can't really talk about on this channel. So, but yeah, a lot of good content we've created there.
Oh, and again, you don't have to, you may scour the internet for all sorts of interesting stuff. We've done that and compiled it all in one place. And you'd be surprised. You'd be like, well, did you get that? Yep. Like people suggest the next day, they'll say, hey, did you hear about this Florida, poison this and blah, blah, blah. Probably have had it on. We've already covered it. So again, thank you, and thank you guys for all of the suggestions, and everybody. You guys are really sending all of this as well. Like everybody's sending us the little stuff that may get through the cracks. We end up putting that back out. So we make sure to try to pass on any information we get. Buy a vegetable conversion machine, says Heritage Heart Homestead. Sounds familiar. What was that?
No, I was going to ask. I couldn't remember which side of the line the police playing music. Did you hear about that one?
Wait, what?
I don't know which side of the line if it was on the for the web only content or if it's in the show. But there's this new thing where police, when they're being filmed, like being live streamed on Instagram by whoever they're talking to or pulling over, they're starting to play music out loud. So it shuts off their stream.
Oh, I see it. Oh my gosh. And it's playing.
Isn't that crazy?
He's playing Santeria. Hey, by the way, the cop has awesome taste in music. I ain't got no Santeria. Ain't got no Cristobal. Oh. I just triggered a. Dang it. I just triggered the copy.
There you go.
Again,
could you imagine like you're filming you're like, oh, I'm live streaming Instagram. I'm, you're not going to do anything to me, Mr. Officer. And all of a sudden you lose your whole Instagram channel because.
Well, this cop is also, he's also actually wearing a Blue Lives Matter mask. So he's outspoken. Well, I see both sides of it because I see the audit, the First Amendment auditors. But it's like that's almost on their end. They're doing it too. So maybe their guy. I wonder if you'll run into a situation where it's kind of a First Amendment auditor, but you also have a police officer that wants his rights too, and he's kind of the same kind of person. You're going to see them kind of butt heads. They're the same kind of, and people forget that. I don't understand why people are blaming all police for this or that. It is a uniform. Those are humans behind it. If a janitor goes out and takes out 20 people at Walmart, you're not going to see a janitor at another school or something and go, whoa, I don't like janitors. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's not the career that does the crime. It's the person that does the crime. So I've never understood this whole thing that just in general. I do get that it is like an ancient brotherhood and all of the stuff that's behind it, and there's historic stuff. But I'm saying as a career, if you're in any kind of line of career, if somebody does something, don't blame others for something that this person did. Do you guys agree or do you disagree? Do you think that somebody who's just out of training and fresh to the force, do you think that he should have somebody up in his face, saying that he's a piece of crap and blah, 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 and this and that, based on their experience with other men and women? They're doing their job. Tom McDonald, by the way, did a great video. If you haven't seen it, it was Fake Woke. He also did Canceled right after that. But the one part where he says that he says that if you order food and call the police, which comes first? That's pretty true. It's like you'll get Uber or even Domino's Pizza before the police come right now. That's not a good thing. Over or
and that's
underfunded.
That's not a dig at the men and women in blue either. It's just a fact about
they're underfunded.
Where dollars are spent, right?
Yep, they're spread out. They're everything else. Which, by the way, I did a YouTube story on that. Tom McDonald, if you guys haven't checked, you guys please go over and make the Marfugel family known. The reason why, and some people may hate him, some people love him. The reason I love this is because I hope you guys realize he has now made number one and he's been in it for a month. So all these companies, he's completely independent. He's like us. He doesn't have a multi-channel network. He doesn't have anybody backing him, and he's putting his music out. But he's actually saying real truths in his songs, right? And I'm saying whether he was doing it just to be a rebel or something it doesn't matter. What other artists are seeing right now is that he's on number one. So all of the artists out there that aren't number one on iTunes are looking at Tom McDonald and saying that's what's selling. You know that he's going to trigger other artists to end up doing songs just like it. And I heard Pitbull is actually doing Pitbull just did a song, 2-minute things of truth or whatever. So that is what is really amazing to me. Again, if you guys have not seen his stuff, maybe you don't even like rap, I would say at least check it out because you might be surprised. Listen to the lyrics, because one thing that nobody can say, he does everything himself. He does the videos out of his house. He does keep that in mind when you're watching almost all of his videos. He does it by himself, builds the stages, builds the stuff. Again, this is Tom McDonald. He even personally, this is just a few months ago.
I can't be canceled. There's no way that you can stop me. I'm fully independent.
Now that's Tom McDonald. By the way, I'm trying to do this.
Y'all been starting rumors.
By the way, he actually gave us permission to play his stuff months ago. He basically responded to somebody that asked for us. Just shows you the kind of person he is. He actually personally responds to critics, even if they're negative. He says something positive. I've noticed that too. But again, go over and say what's up from the Fugel family. Let him know that we support. Because guess what? If he sets that example, again, he has been number one for like a month. What does that do? And it also shows you that music and truth are now, they pass through everything. That music has been a shield for so much change culturally, you have no idea. Think about the effect of music throughout the ages, especially through the 70s, the 60s and 70s. Think about what music did. Think about how music changed you. That's why it's so important. Music is one of the most important side things. And instead of these rappers talking about Xanax and talking about this and that, talking about getting high or whatever, he's talking, and he doesn't swear. I didn't even realize until like a week ago, and I've been listening to him for a year and a half. He doesn't even swear really. I mean, he does, but it's very rare and far between. So it's not filler. That's why it's not just me being it's not me even being a fanboy. Like, it's me saying this is amazing. If that's number one, think about, and this is above Grammy winning artists. This is above This is above these just, the radio people, the people that get rotated 40 times on the same station. He's not been played on the radio once, I don't think, and he is now all over the place and on everybody's stuff. Number 1 on iTunes, and I guess he has 7 songs in the top 50. That's insane. No help, independent, hand signing records from his house. This is what the future is. And music like this is going to blend into stuff like ours, as far as like the shows that we do. Again, we're just asking people to not just accept everything and don't just accept everything that you hear. Don't watch too much of one source, because you will get brainwashed regardless of how hard you think that you are so smart. None of us are smart. I've been brainwashed before. I've seen something so many times that I started believing it. And that's why I'm so careful. I make sure to look at both sides, but people won't watch both sides. They'll say, oh, I watch all, or, oh, I know I do tons of research. Anybody you argue with about anything political, they will say, oh, I know I look into it more than you probably think. I do it 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day. They all say the same thing. That they're very well researched, that they watch tons of stuff, that they watch it. Then you ask them about specific things, they go, well, I didn't see that, or I didn't see that. Or they'll just end up screaming, oh, I'm not going to talk to you. Especially when you make a point that makes sense. Music, though, can connect people, and that is something that I hope that a lot of people like Vault 111 and these smaller people, I hope you guys understand. Music is how we're going to communicate. It gets through the censors, it gets through the ad, it's doing ads, and if it doesn't have ads, by the way, you just so you know this, if it doesn't have ads, it's not going viral. And if it's not going viral, it's not reaching people. It's more than just the ads. It's not the money. It's the fact that if you are not advertised on YouTube, you are not going to the top. You are not getting your reach. You are not reaching new people. They made a business decision, I believe, in April of 2018. That's where everybody saw it. In fact, one woman who was not doing ads was paid for completely by schools. Schools were doing her Patreon, so she would do free videos on YouTube, and they were educational, how to make computer, she would do all sorts of science experiments. She got suggested all sorts of, she proved without a shadow of doubt with her analytics that something changed, and it went pff. And the one difference is that she did not do ads, and she didn't do ads because she was doing it for schools. And she was being paid not through ads, but actually Patreon supporters, actual schools, principals paying her to do these videos because it was so helpful. These schools were getting something, a service for this small price they paid. So again, my point is, if you don't have advertising, you don't go anywhere in YouTube. So we have to kind of fight this conflict whatever way we can. We got to bring as many people in as possible. You are the one that's going to help us. So make sure to grab your friends, grab your family. Maybe we'll set up a couple videos that you guys can point them to that will get them introduced, and we can start breaking down this left-right crap. Because it's past that. If you think about it, and you think about that person you just absolutely hate on the other side of the aisle, they think the same exact thing about you. So something's wrong here. If both people you think you're not, both sides are completely brainwashed at this point. I've fallen into it. Everybody's fallen into it at one time or the other. But again, go over and say what's up to Tom McDonald. Make sure you tell him that Marv sent you. I hope you guys look at this. My comment is at the top. You are speaking for millions. I personally want to thank you for using your platform for a real message instead of fearing what will happen. You have inspired me to change how I run my channels from one creator to another. Thank you. I really feel that way. Make sure go over to that comment if you can. All right, guys. It is now officially time for the shoutro. Dex, thank you, my internet brother. Thank you for doing everything you do. I appreciate you. I respect you. And Mods, thank you so much for keeping it a peaceful place. Bones, J-Stone, West Virginia, if you're here or not, doesn't matter. Love you guys. CJ Blaze, Lisa Hall, I hope you are doing well. Love you. BOD, I didn't see you guys here tonight. I appreciate you. I really love you guys. And Shannon, thank you so much. This is not my screen name. Respiratory Jane, Clarissa Jackson, thank you. Raquel R. You guys have a wonderful night.
We need less sheep and more sheepdogs. We need less sheep and more sheepdogs. We need less sheep and more sheepdogs. We need less sheep and more sheepdogs.
Thank you, Nana Deborah. Thank you, Angie Rose, Edgy Whalen, All Light, Susan Dresner, with the Henry Dacus. Everybody practice. Oh, going right back. Now we back it. Oh, with the fake on. Whoa, gotta go back. Choke. With the sugar punch.
Gotta bring back now all of you with the freak show and all. It's on me. Gotta bring Emilio on me. Everybody really wanna know now we bring some real time. Kim O'Donnell and that computer monitor. With the Bones and the Heritage and the Hart Homestead and the Heritage. Going right back now with the Ashley on Row and the Maury LCJC. Graham Van Sasquatch and the Ontario Talion on the massage. Gonna bring it back now in the massage. Here's what I need with that Mr. Jammer. No Bammer. Gotta bring the Raquel R. Lever. 777 Willie O. With the Job Farm 2 and Willie O. And Mr. Chili Joe. And WB Puppet Line. With a now we're racing military. Laura Griffin, my lover. Gonna bring it back and now I'm not a pusher on Shava. Gotta bring with the Bones in the way, underneath the Torres, with the 3-6 gotta drop it down and jam, with a jam engine, gotta go back nice and with a peaceful white hurts, gotta go back now they hurt, and everybody loves her, Respiratory Jamie, gotta bring it on back, oh now down with the jet alert, nuclear war and I love down. I love you, I was ammo bound. Oh, now, and we now playing the next bound. Going right back, now they see it in the not by boat back. Oh, gotta say now, goodbye. Gonna do it around back and all time. Off the top of the head, say gang, gang. With the Jason Stites, all jack. Oh. The truth is out there, do it everybody and they just don't care. I love the way you say my name. Billy Bob, oh, gotta go back through it, oh. Go over and listen to Fake Whoa. Go are so fake, whoa. These people are so fake, whoa. Gotta bring it WB, prepare my mind. Do it right back and I'll show you the signs. Writing on the wall, writing on the fine. Whoa, out, no, now look at the print. It's so fine with the Dundee's Parker. Lucky ticket to in water. Gonna drink lots of it, alive. And the Mel Tulip. I'll pray for everyone, I don't care what religion you are. One on B, hello Adam and Dex and all the mods. Kratky, Homesteader, and Bill I Breckenridge, you all are appreciated. Wendy Lou, loves God's plan. Russell Watkins. By the way, we have helped over 1,300 creators get monetized into 1,000 creators. Even though 10% of them turn around and call us names, we still do it. Da, 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 da. Treat people like you like to be treated. If they give you crap, hey, stay, seated, 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 seated. Crystal pool, got a fool, never going back to do. Crystal pool, I love you.
We need less sheep and more sheepdogs. We need less sheep and more sheepdogs.
JC88, I appreciate you too. Russell on the Bowers with the JP. You know y'all game in the KD. Bring your miracles and never hate me. Land on the global kitchen. LCJC, take you on a mission. Oh now, I'm the Lord of Frugal fam on the mission. I bring it right back distance. Going up and down like a ninja. Oh, I do it on down. Like hope everybody know now with the DMPs. You gon' protect yours, yeah. Hey. I wish I could see the way they look there, look there, look there. Natalie on the downwind with the bill about to me. Oh, baby, put it on more. Everybody go real so far. Bam, bam, LMB. Oh, and the old that was night with the light on the steel. Wanna bring back these blue waters. Gotta go really wanna go back, love. Bring it right back and I push my bug. Gotta see them or G the Lord. Gotta bring back and I know I love. Bring it right back and I do it now. Bring it all the way back down. Gotta see not that I had it now. First time color, go it back. With everybody knows that. Reaching on that, going back. I see the way they love her. I do it, 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 love. I say I love, I love, I love, I love. With the everybody really wanna go on track. Grammy McKay and the go on back. Do it, lift it, I like it there. Do it, just like this. I'm looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Virgo news, where are you? Only news I use. More Virgo news, more Virgo news. Where are you? Only news I use. More Virgo news, more Virgo news. Where are you? Only news I use. More Virgo news. Everybody really wanna go on chat. More Virgo TV, oh and that. We call that old pandemic. Everybody knows that we so whack. Whoa, I just know I'm woke. I know the eyes, I'm woke. I'm going back, I choke. I do it now. Show notes on the morefuganews.com. I see all it white. Thank you, Susan Donahue, for everything you do. Katie, Anna, and me. Going right back to AC. Kim O'Donnell, NG. I'm Mr. KDJD. I'm Virgo news. Where are you? Only news I use. More Virgo news. More Virgo news. Where are you? Only news I use. More Virgo news. Gotta bring it, ah. Gotta love it, ah. Gotta love it, ah. Gotta love it, ah. Hey. Gotta bring back and I know this going. I'm gonna be back where I am rolling. Rolling on the way, don't own down shit. Going right back and you know they cheat. 40 inch left and the beat strong that. Death beat and that beat strong that. Johnny on the hole and the just won't be. And that Christian on the day, that words and now you provide king. Bring it right back and they said they were king. Jesus is on the king. Gonna do it back and now they sing.
Stormy Weather, thank you so much for your massive support. Stormy Weather, thank you. And I just said Stormy Weather. Weather. Like Trevor, but Stormy. Vault 111 says, cowbell? ? You don't deserve the cowbell. Stormy Weather, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Tower Bear, thank you, and more thank you. And 95 Hero, thank you. You are all in the same category of doesn't matter if you support, you are here every single night. I don't remember a show where N95 wasn't here. Thank you, Tower Bear, for supporting all of you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Now back to the funk. Vault, by the way, you were talking about you make your music with the Corrigan keyboard. all of my stuff, some would say it's weird, but I used the RC505, so all of these are just literally made on the spot and looped. So that's why it's kind of a loop. People go, oh, it's just a loop. No. It's because I make them on the spot and I can only do so much. And then the MPC one is there as well. Gotta see that truth is all hidden. Everybody really wanna go back now, and the truth is gonna be hidden all the way. Stormy weather, apparently. I'm sorry, you guys, stop with the stormies. Stormy 7572 was late to the show. Now we have to start all over. Better. Stormy weather. Better. Stormy weather. What's up, guys? It's Adam A.K. Marv. Better. Don't tell me weather. Mm-hmm. Got the peaceful waters and I'm the pal. Oh, going and you my pal. Chilling on the day with this honey beach cow. Wanna go. All right, this part is for Veteran Steve. Thank you for your massive support. Don't know if you made it here tonight or you're watching the replay, but this one's for you. Veteran Steve gonna bring it down. 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 Mr. Basket M says, do you dance to your music? Absolutely not. Gonna bring it down. Veteran Steve 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 gonna bring it down. Gone girl, Lena, I'm gonna bring it back, girl. On it. Gone girl, gone girl. Where in the world will we be? We're gone girl. Where in the world will we be? Oh.
back in the go now. Put it in there, bring it on the do now. Hey now, gotta bring it on the dance now. We go on the waters, everybody going to dance now. Hey now, ho, 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 ho. Everybody love that one girl, ball 1-1. Everybody love the ball 1-1-1. Everybody love that, truly out there now. Hey now, chair dancing, everybody love now. I'll be back in a bit, says a Jam Jam. Get pumped up. 777. Said a gone girl, 777 on that mom of 3 with the mermaid of the 4. I love and I bring it right back in core of this earth is made for more love than you can't handle in Mr. Bassy. RN do it like a re-on wild now. Now retired burst. About to come back like a registered nurse. Oh, now. Got a Captain Pat on the Captain Fat. Captain Pat with the Captain Fat. Got the Captain Pat with the Captain Fat. Woo. Got the Captain Pat with the Captain Fat. Woo. Gotta bring it like a Captain Fat and the Dilly J. Life is better on stilts and they say hey. Leezy peasy, good night, y'all, and thanks Adam and Dex and Mize. We're gonna go look at who's live and host a small creator, or maybe a big one, who knows? Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Damn it. Who be on the plan, damn it? Who be on the plan, damn it? Who be on the plan, damn it? Be a bad. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Who be on the plan, damn it? Who be on the plan, damn it? Who be on the plan, damn it? Gotta bring it on the love with the Jake McNeil. Gotta bring it back down and they taking the pill. They doing it just like they did back then. 40 and slip and they get on them. I'm about to bring it back and you know on them. About to browse on the home and to do it again. Oh now, got it back brown begging in the toe now. Gonna do it just like it ain't no go now. Gonna do it like oh yeah, oh now. Gonna bring it, all the girls now and all the boys now. We're going to be hosting Touge, TOOJ. Good guy, make sure to check him out.